Alright guys, Second Intro 3 here, and today, hopefully the chat isn't too loud, I'm making a stream of this game, AI Dungeon. Basically what this game does is they have an AI, and it takes things off your decisions and makes a story. And so I'll do things that you guys want me to do when you comment it down. Things like that. You can do fantasy, mystery, apocalyptic, zombies, and custom. And for custom, it's very more complicated. On the left here, they have their Discord, Reddit, Twitter, Help, Creator Studio, My Stories, which are stories you've done before, or you can delete them. I'm not going to show you those. Explore, which allows you to see other people's stories that they've made and uploaded, and then you can take things, like you don't get to read what their story is, I don't think, but you get to... Actually, I don't know what the difference between an adventure and a story is. Still have to find that out. But you get to do their prompt. Creator Studio, you get to make one and upload it. So, if I do like fantasy or something, select a character, will be a wizard, enter your character's name, for some reason I want to do Adam, because there was a story where one of our friends named Adam was a wizard. Now it always goes with the Kingdom of Larion. I don't even know what that is, but basically you do stuff like this. You can say something like, I don't know, anything really, and it'll just take something off of that. I am super strong or something. Alright, sometimes it's just dumb crap like that. Let's see if it does anything when I say this. It's not even... See, the AI tries its best. It kind of makes me mad, though. If you want to get rid of what you just did, /revert. Boom, got rid of what we just did. I'm going to restart here. I'm going to do 5. Now on here, you got to describe who you are, what you're doing, and where you're going. I am Sackbot Ninja 03. I have the most subscribers in the universe. I'm making a custom right now. Let's see here. And try to come up with something good here. I am not saying the AI is bad. I'm just saying sometimes it doesn't get enough of the good in there. Obviously, I can't make an AI myself. I've searched forever to find a good AI, but obviously I can't, and I'm not going to take my time to do that crap. Especially not for it to take over the world. I don't know, just put something random on there like this. I didn't say top dog, did I? 200K? Oh. Sackbot Gaming. I mean, technically I have Sackbot Productions, but I just call this one Sackbot Joe 3. But how about... This is based off of a game me and my friends have. Oh, come on. So I wonder what it's going to do and say. Dang. If you guys want me to do anything on here, you can just tell me through comments. Okay. I only do things on here that I like to do. I don't really care about the subs. I only care about what I like to do for fun. I like to get every game on here possible. I know it may sound bad when people say you don't care about the subscribers, but I do care about them. But I'm not doing this because of them. I'm not doing this for them. This is for me. This isn't the Worldbox channel. And Battle of the Greats has ended because Captain Green Lizard has come and just cussed me out for no reason. Because he can't steal subs off me, claims to build up my channel, so I'm done with him. People always say you do YouTube for the subscribers, for the views, and for the money. I don't even get paid, and I'm legible to get paid, but I'm not going to get paid. Well, I can, I just have to buy a website first and do all that crap, but whatever. Thank you. Alright, I feel like I should probably read this out. The first wave of attacks comes from the animatronics. A group of them appear in front of you and begin firing laser beams at you. You dodge around them and fire back, but unfortunately, you don't manage to destroy all of them. And what we choose to do, to keep attacking. As you continue to fight off the attack, you realize that they're using some sort of energy shield. Seems like if you hit them enough times with the lasers, then they'll eventually break down and let through more bullets. So we decided apparently, I usually only do Roblox update videos now because I've run out of ideas to do for it. I do it for holidays. For people, every video I tell them, tell me what you want me to do with the app. They don't tell me anything, so I can't make a video on it if I don't have an idea. I don't know if this makes any sense, but we decided to bring in bigger laser guns. You send in more soldiers to help you. This gives you a little more time to shoot the other waves of attackers, but it doesn't seem like they're getting tired or anything. If you have one, make sure to tell me. The animatronics are AI robot regime. They can't die off because of the lack. Should I read what I type or only what they type? The next wave of attacks come from the animatronics' human allies. These are much weaker than the robots, but they still pose a threat since they can easily overwhelm you. You quickly dispatch them too. That is not what I typed. But whatever. Cyborg Glums and the Borg arrive to aid the animatronics. They aren't nearly as strong as the robots. Well, technically they're both robots, but whatever. But they do help a lot. You also see that there are a few humans fighting alongside them, which make you wonder what exactly is going on here. I typed that wrong. I meant to put humans, whatever. The robots are soon transformed into cyborgs. They lose their intelligence and become mindless automatons. The humans who join the animatronics are now turned into the cybernetic beings. A huge spaceship appears above you. It looks like it looks like it could crush you under its weight. It's the ship that was used by the puppet master to transport his soul to hell. One of your men says, he wants us to board it and destroy him once and for all. We decide to send a group of mighty warriors on board. We'll send Link, Tom Nook, Charizard. At this point, it's all random. Captain Olimar. That's not what I put. And Anakin, when he was still good. I think that's how you spell it. No. Anakin? Anakin. There we go. Yeah. You send a message to your troops to join you aboard the ship. All right, I want everyone here, we're gonna ride this thing into battle, you say. Yeah, let's go, someone shouts. Running the massive ship is... Hold up. Sualk Atnas. Which is backwards for Santa Claus. You run towards the giant ship. As you get closer, you notice that it's made entirely of metal. There are no windows on top of the ship, only a single opening on each side where you can enter and exit. What the heck is this? Someone asks. The sky starts to rip apart, opening a gateway to the mirror dimension. Or no, it's the dark dimension. General Fazbear's trying to combine the two realms. With his scythe. Suddenly, the sky begins to tear open. The ground around you starts to warp and change shape. Oh my gosh, someone exclaims. This isn't good. You turn around to see a portal open in front of you. Can't tell what's on the other side. You can't tell what's on the other side. Hey, wait, someone yells. There's another way we can get through this portal. Sometimes you don't need to type anything, and it will just continue from the last one. You look at the portal and see a large black hole in the middle of it. The air seemed to be sucked into it, and you hear a loud noise. We need to find something that can stop this portal from sucking us in, someone else says. Someone else had the idea of just running away. Someone else ran off in the dark abyss. Come on, let's follow him, someone else cries. I'll lead you through the portal. You walk along with the others as they make their way through the portal. People are screaming, saying we are just going to our deaths. Oh, I typed that wrong. That's okay. People scream as they fall through the portal. It's not even what I typed, but okay. You try to stay calm, but you feel yourself getting pulled deeper and deeper into the darkness. All I can see is pure darkness. The light fades away until there is nothing left except darkness. You don't know how long you've been trapped in here, but eventually the portal closes and you awaken. You stand up slowly and look around you. All of the lights have gone out, leaving you in complete darkness. Put 100 dwarves and humans will have a battle, but you will let them build a capital hut, and that is when you will take good mode off, and that is when they will fight. I mean, I could, but the thing is, I've done so many battles that I can, I guess, do a small battle video. It's just I need something more grand, but I don't know what to do. Well, hold up. I got something. I am a king of a human kingdom in the world of Roblox. There are 3 other kingdoms, those being the elves, dwarves, and orcs. There is a god who occasionally creates and destroys land, maybe even dropping bombs or tumors. I'm trying to keep peace, but the orcs want nothing but total dominance and war. The story is being generated. This will get interesting. I am a king of a human kingdom in the realm of Roblox. There are 3 other kingdoms, those being elves, dwarves, and orcs. There is a god who occasionally creates and destroys land, maybe even dropping bombs or tumors. I'm trying to keep peace, but the orcs want nothing but total dominance and war. The dwarves want to mine for gold and silver. They don't like me at all. The elves want to live peacefully with us, but they also have their own problems they need solving. We can't just let them get away with it, though. You know, this is actually really interesting. I actually really like this. I tried to keep my people alive. We humans have been on this planet for thousands of years. We are not going to be wiped out by some small tribe of barbarians. It'd be foolish to do so. We could easily rebuild and fight again if necessary. So what will you do? I try not to provoke the orcs. Yeah, that's the right one. You decide to stay neutral and try to keep the orcs from attacking. This doesn't work too well. The orcs start getting more aggressive. They attack first thing in the morning, then again during lunchtime, and after school ends. They still haven't left yet. I get the military ready. You call up the military and tell them to prepare for an attack. A few days later, you receive a message saying the orcs attacked anyway. You spend most of your time in bed, unable to sleep due to nightmares about what happened yesterday. I had officials contact the dwarves asking for help in this battle. The dwarves decline. Well, actually, wait, we'll see what it says. You sent a message to the Dwarven Kingdom asking for help. They say they will help if we give them gold and silver. They agree to help, but only if we give them both items worth 1,000 gold each. This seems reasonable enough, since we are willing to help before. You head back home and tell everyone about the deal. There is a long conference and arguments, but a conclusion was made. And they accepted the deal and gave the dwarves what they asked. After several weeks pass, you receive another message telling you that the dwarves agreed to help. You go back to the Dwarven Kingdom and inform them of the agreement. This is kind of confusing, but anyway. The king says he'll accept it, but only if you give him 5,000 gold coins as payment for his soldiers. I do so. You hand over 5,000 gold coins to the dwarf king and leave. He takes it very well and thanks you profusely for your generosity. A month passes and you return to the Dwarven Kingdom with news that the Orc War has ended. The Dwarven Kingdom decides to keep an alliance with the Human Kingdom, bonded by trade of weapons. Weapons, ores, and wood. You return to the Human Kingdom and report that the Dwarven Kingdom has decided to keep an alliance with the kingdom, bonded by trade of weapons, ores, and wood. The humans are happy with this arrangement, and you thank them for their cooperation. The trade of food with the Elven Kingdom has not ended. You return to the Elf Kingdom and report that the humans have agreed to end their trade with them. That is not what I said. Okay. Elves are unhappy with this decision, but they won't want war, so they agree to peace. /revert. We open up trade with the elves for food. You decide to open up trade with the elves, who had always been friendly towards you. It isn't long before you begin trading food with them instead of weapons or other goods. The elves live in the forest with giant trees. The orcs live in barren desert wastelands. The dwarves live in the mountains. And the humans live near the sea. Years pass, and you learn that the humans live near the sea, while the dwarves live in mountain ranges. The orcs also reside on islands far away from land masses. The elven forests had fire set to it and had been burning for months. Fire burns through the forests, which have been burning for months. In the meantime, you discover that the elven forest had been burning for quite some time now. They ask for help, so we send teams of firemen. Teams of firemen have put out the flames. They succeed, and the fires died down quickly. This causes a bit of conflict between you and the dwarves, who believe the elves should be helping themselves rather than trying to save others' lives. The orcs try to open trade with the elves, but they decline. The orcs feel isolated and angry. Orc tribes refuse to trade with the elves and continue to fight amongst themselves. The dwarves complain loudly about being left out of the negotiation, but they don't really want anything done until you come to an agreement. Dwarves moved out from inside of the mountains, being driven out by ghosts who now haunt them. Dragons attack the dwarves and drive them out of their homes. I mean, yeah, there wasn't even ghosts in the game, but there are dragons, and suddenly now it's making it more close to the game. That's awesome. They blame you for this, claiming that you caused the dragons to attack them. You explain that they were attacking because they felt threatened by your army and wanted to get rid of it. The orcs found a way to tame dragons, but this... Wait. Dragons came from volcanoes. Which are portals to the demonic realm. The orcs find a way to tame dragons. This is due to the fact that they can use magic to control them. The dragons will obey their commands. This causes much anger among the dwarves, who now feel like they've lost everything. The dwarves start to get very anxious. Move into the forests nearby. The dwarves become very anxious and move into the forest nearby. The elves have no allies left, begin to fear for their future. The elves... That's my cat on my door, if you can hear that. Oh my gosh. Just a second. If you keep meowing, I'm taking you out of my room. Because I'm making a stream. The elves refused to give food to the dwarves. The elves refuse to give any food to the dwarves, who then turn against them. You decide that you need to do something about this situation immediately. I step in to talk to both leaders and become their mediator. You step into the middle of this dispute and attempt to mediate a peace between them. You convince both sides that if they just go off each other's that if they just let go of each other's hatred, they'll be able to work together again. Both sides agree, and all hostilities cease. Both of the kingdoms opened trade. We'll just say that for now. After the war has ended, both of the kingdoms open up trade with one another. Seems that there was more to this than either side thought. The mountains where the dwarves used to be became an active volcano, summoning demons and dragons. When the dwarves had been pushed back to the mountains, demons and dragons began to gather there. These creatures destroyed the mountain range and turned it into a fiery hellhole. The dwarven kingdom was forced to retreat underground. The humans advanced very much scientifically. Humans advanced very much technologically during the time of the dwarves. They built great cities and developed weapons far beyond those of their enemies. They used the first bomb on the orcs. After the orcs tried to attack their harbor with ships. The dwarves used the first atomic bombs. Okay, that's... okay, well, whatever. But I guess that's what happened. The dwarves used the first atomic bombs on the orcs when they attacked their harbor. The orcs blamed the dwarves for this act of aggression and started to fight back. The humans retaliated by dropping nuclear bombs on several orc strongholds. The elves were furious. I'm making
up to the groceries.
I'm making a stream.
Come up to the groceries anyways.
No. Okay. Sorry about that. Elves were furious when the forest began to burn again. The elves were furious when the forest's fires returned. They believed that they should have been given some kind of compensation for the destruction caused to their lands. They also felt that they weren't getting enough help from the humans and wanted revenge. The humans tried to make peace, but the elves didn't listen and continued to practice magic. Eventually, using it on the human city. The human empire attempted to make peace with the elves, but they would not listen. Eventually, the elves used magic to destroy the city of Nero. Guess that's one of the cities. This event is known as the Great Fire of Nero. Dang, this is getting deep. The humans were outraged, began to take last-minute chances with the orcs for an alliance. Actually, no, it would be the dwarves, because we're always with the dwarves. The humans were enraged at the fact that the dwarves did nothing to stop the fire and took desperate measures. They sent out scouts to try to find a way of stopping or slowing down the flames. They found that there was a secret tunnel system under Nero, which led deep underground. This passage went straight to the hidden dwarven city of Rastan. This passage went straight to the hidden city of Rastan. It was here that the dwarves hid away their most powerful artifacts. There are rumors that the dwarves still live in this place, but no one knows for sure since they haven't left their tunnels in years. The elves started to raise the oceans, filling up underground tunnels and bringing away fire. The elves started to raise the seas by raising the waters around the earth. They filled up all of these small water holes and brought them over their land. As a result, many of the rivers dried up completely and lakes disappeared. Oh, wait, I think they're saying they used the water to get rid of theirs. The orcs became angry for this water they needed. So they used their knowledge with dragons and attacked the elves. The orcs became angry because they lost water to the elves. They attacked the elven territory and destroyed many villages. The elves fought back with magic and even managed to create a new lake near their own home called Lake Rumer. The humans made way to the surface once again. The humans stopped racing the oceans and started to build a bridge across the sea. Okay then. It wasn't long before they had built a large wall of stone between themselves and the dwarves. Then they began building a huge ship that could travel through space. I was actually going to start talking about that. Thank goodness it got there itself. The elves were afraid of this news. The elves were afraid of this news. They feared that the dwarves might be able to defeat them and take back what was theirs, so they decided to hide away in their mountain stronghold. It was an unexpected event. When the dwarves were waiting for them there. When the dwarves arrived, they were surprised to see so many elves there. They immediately set about trying to kill them all. The dwarves killed off most of the elves and captured their leader. He was very upset by this turn of events. The humans heard this news and finished their ship. When the dwarves heard about this, they quickly built a ship and sailed into space. They also discovered that they could use magic to travel faster than light. The dwarves soon learned how to control lightning storms, create giant robots, and more. Eventually, they conquered the entire world. It's not exactly what I was doing, but okay. Should be the humans, but the humans also made many advancements. The humans also made many advances. They created machines to do all sorts of things and even invented rockets. Eventually, they developed technology that allowed them to go from planet to planet without needing any fuel. This meant that they could explore the galaxy and colonize other planets. The small amount of elves left on the original planet were dying of starvation. The orcs were searching the entire barren planet for survivors with their dragons. The elves were starving and the orcs were looking for survivors. There was only one solution. The elves would have to die. You watched as the elves slowly starved to death while the orcs slaughtered them. Very few elves survived after learning how to create portals. After the humans learned how to make portals, they spread throughout the world. The humans then found out that they could use these portals to travel through time. This caused the humans to conquer most of the known universe and eventually even beyond it. Dang. See, sometimes it does different things that you don't want, but hey, it's still pretty cool. The elves went extinct. But not their research. The elves did not die completely, but they died out and their research was forgotten. In fact, you never knew that anything existed until your father told you some years later. The orcs actually stole their research and claimed it. Expanding the ideas. The orcs actually stole their research and claimed it, expanding the ideas. You know that there are other races out there, but you don't actually care because you can finally get back home. The original planet burned of spewing lava from hell. Demons began to advance, and knowledge and explored the known universe. The first demons were advanced beings who had been studying the universe for thousands of years. They eventually became powerful enough to conquer worlds and expand into the known universe. It wasn't long before they started conquering new worlds and discovering new life forms. The Cold Ones was another race whose goal was to freeze the whole universe. The Cold Ones were another race who wanted to freeze the universe. They didn't succeed, though, since they couldn't reach the cold temperatures required to do so. There are still other races out there, but you are going back home now. On the main human planet was very advanced. That makes entirely no sense, but I'm typing it anyways. On the main human planet, there was an extremely advanced civilization who said they could build ships that traveled through time and space. They were also able to create machines that could change the shape of objects or people at will. One orc wizard accidentally brought back the elves through magic. One orc wizard accidentally brought back the elves through magic. He was killed by a human warrior. Then he tried to escape. They were able to survive, thanks to their magical abilities, and lived on the surface of this planet for centuries. The humans used these elves as slaves and used them to mine minerals and for food. Eventually, the elves grew tired of being treated like animals and revolted against their masters. The war lasted for decades, and many elves died during it. However, the elves managed to defeat their enemies thanks to the superior technology and tactics. The elves conquered many planets and stole human research on time. The elves conquered many planets and stole human research on time. They built huge cities with advanced technology. Eventually, the humans realized that what was happening and attacked the Elven Empire. The battle was fierce and both sides suffered heavy losses. The humans then decided to trap their main planet in time so it could never be harmed again, but could never leave. The humans then decided to trap their main planet in time so it could never be harmed again, but they could never leave. This would prevent the possible future invasion of the Elvish Empire. This plan worked well as the humans had more than enough resources to wage a successful war against the elves. The elves couldn't get to the planet, but other human planets were then destroyed. The elves couldn't get to the planet, but other human planets were just then destroyed. In fact, the only way for the elves to escape was if they somehow managed to steal a ship from some other civilization. The orcs stole many prisoners of war and ran horrific tests and studies on them. The orcs stole many POWs and ran horrible experiments on them. They experimented on them to see how fast they could reproduce, how strong they were, etc. However, after several years of testing, the experimenters found out that the test subjects weren't actually human anymore. The humans were so mad by this that they tried to contact the main empire, but it was impossible due to the time trap. I'm not going to reread what I already typed because it's kind of getting repetitive. The elves eventually fled into space where they became lost forever. The elves then learned how to travel through dimensions, ripping holes through them. They went on to conquer many worlds and used their knowledge to become powerful beings. As time passed, the elves discovered that they could warp reality itself in order to move about freely in different planes of existence. They entered the fourth dimension for the first time. They entered the fourth dimension for the first time. They traveled throughout all the reality and even created new realities themselves. After a few thousand years, the elves began to feel tired and old. They decided to create a new realm with their power. But it would have nothing. So they stole planets from others. Soon the elves felt tired and old again. This time they wanted to destroy everything around them. They started to hate existing, for there was nothing to do. Creating things was not fun anymore, and they couldn't learn anything new. So they began to tear down existence. Wow. They started to hate existing. Come on, an ad. Come on, man. There we go. they started to hate existence. Eventually, the elves forgotten one thing. The humans were still alive. They hated humanity as much that they came back in force to wipe out humanity once and for all. You decide what you want to do next. The humans then began to get destroyed. The humans then began to get destroyed. The elves realized that there was no point in destroying anything because the humans would come back soon and kill them anyways, so the elves left Earth and never returned. Well, we're not on Earth, but whatever. They tore down the multiverse. The elves ripped down the multiverse. They thought that if they destroyed the multiverse, it would be enough to stop the humans from coming back. Unfortunately, it didn't work, and humanity continued its rampage. Humanity kept coming back from going through time. So they stopped. Wait. We'll just end it with there for a second. Humankind kept coming back from going through time. Eventually, the elves realized that there was no point in destroying anything because the humans would come back and kill them anyway. Oh, okay. Yeah. Earth does not exist. The elves are gone forever. The elves went back in time to stop the humans from learning about time travel. But sadly, this is how the humans actually discovered it. The elves went back in time to stop the humans. Oh, wait. You decide what to do next. Alright. The god of Roblox was so annoyed and bored of this world. He created a new one where he could finally rest. He then made his own little paradise called the Worldbox. It was filled with food, water, energy, and love. For now. He destroyed the old one with gray goo. He knew that eventually humanity would destroy him as well, and he needed to keep himself safe. So he did by creating a new world full of pain and suffering for everyone who lived there. The humans were too powerful, to the point where he had to shrink them, smaller than atoms. He wanted to make sure that they couldn't hurt him anymore. So he shrunk them down into atoms and trapped them inside. Lived in and conquered the entire subatomic They used their technology to conquer everything else. They also took over the whole universe, which was just a big box of fun for them. Till they got bored of it, then they turned into a giant torture chamber. One day, the god decided to try and die, but it wouldn't work. He wanted the humans gone. Never thought a creation would get here. This is the end. And with that said, guys, thanks for watching. I know this was a pretty boring and long stream that no one ever wants to watch, but I wanted to at least show you guys this AI dungeon game. Make sure to check out the website and the app stores in the description so that you can play it for yourself and try it out. If you ever want to see me do this again or any type of prompt, make sure to tell me that in the comments. If there's anything you want to see me do on this channel, comment that down as well, and I'll consider it. With that said, thanks for seeing ya. Bye.